we are back all over again. Thank you so much for stopping in. Shout out to everybody who's subscribed, shout out to new viewers, shout out to anybody who just happened to stumble across this video, and let's get started. Like, share, and subscribe, please and thank you, because YouTube hates creators. Let's start out because I did make an update video on all the stuff that we were gonna do, and this is the Spy Family video. Really quickly, Spy Family, yes, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, just amazing. I love all of it. Every little bit of it I love. I love the fact that Anya, the main character, well, one of the main characters, is a telepath and doesn't want to tell anybody because she's just got a lot of baggage around being a telepath. Also, human experimentation, which we're not going to cover because we're specifically talking about the anime and not the manga. Season 2, baby! I love Lloyd, aka Twilight, and him just being so overly, like, into his job to the point where it's like, dude, she's like 6. You need to, like, pump off the brakes for a little bit. She's not old enough to realize why this is really, that important. Her understanding of it is minimal at best. I especially love Yor and the fact that she's a hardcore assassin who in her everyday real life trying not to get caught is just absolutely clumsy. Just all of it works. Also, Yor's brother is a spy hunter who is actively looking for her fake husband Twilight/Lloyd, which is just amazing and great. That's just personal feelings on it. Now on to the part where we're actually going to talk about, like, the writing aspect of it, right? Because writing is my wheelhouse and it's something I just do a lot of because it's my personal hobby and I'm really good at it. The writing in this show is amazing, and I do mean that on a satirical level, right? The comedy sticks. The actual serious moments stick. All of it is very well crafted and thought out, and I absolutely love it. 10 out of 10. Best anime from a manga adaptation I've seen in quite a while. I love it. And the reason why I say it's a really good adaptation is because, well, I hate to spoil people on this, but Yor versus Lloyd, the episode where she's just 3 sheets to the wind and she's just way too drunk and she almost beats him to bloody death until she slips in her high heels, that doesn't happen in the manga. They literally just put that in for straight up fan service, and it's fan service that works, and I've never been more happy to see any of it, because for a fact, right, Lloyd doesn't know that Yor is straight up an assassin. He honestly thinks she's just some random chicks that works in the government sector. That's it. That's all he thinks she really is. Counterpoint, Yor doesn't know he's a spy. He lied and said, oh, I'm a psychologist for, patients and stuff. Yahaha. And they don't know the truth about each other. So whatever they lie to each other about, that's honestly what they think is going on. So when she's fighting him, right, still the best episode. If I had to rank it, it's one of my favorite episodes. And she's really hitting him hard. He actually has a minute where he's like, she might actually kill me. But he doesn't want to hit her because, again, the lie of she's just some chick from the government office, right, is what is mainly in his mind. So he's like, I probably shouldn't hit her back because that's not gonna go good. However, it is a wonderful, like, setup for maybe future episodes where they finally figure out who each other is, and Yor might have to come to grips with the fact that he is an enemy spy in not really Germany, in, like, the Cold War. I think, I'm gonna be completely honest. Japan, you're not subtle, especially when where they lived is called Berlin with a T added onto it. Berlint. Like, it made me giggle so much, is because, yeah, no, you're not subtle, you're not slick, but I can sit here and also appreciate it. Super good way to just skim right underneath it. I love it so much. And I will also want to touch on the fact that even though this family is all fake, right? Anya is nobody's child. Lloyd is not her biological father. Yor is not her biological mother. They are not really married. The only biological relation in this is Yor and her brother Yuri, who is the spy hunter, and he looks at her more like, because it's Japan, right, as a possible love interest when he shouldn't, but if you were to just read it as it is, it would just straight up be, it's the older sister who raised him, so it's weird to suddenly have not only another man intruding onto what he considers his sister her time and also what he thinks is limited love, but now there's also a kid that goes with it. Yeah, he's having a lot of extra super duper weird thoughts, not because of any other reason than for the longest time he was the only priority in her life, and now there's other people and he's just a little bit snippy about that. I just refuse to touch on the weird incest because I don't know why that always gets shoved in, and I personally just, that trope needs to for real die. It's creepy and gross and it's gross. Bleh. Gross. The reason why I bring up the fact that even though Anya is not biologically related, I can talk, to either Yor or Lloyd, they love her very, very much. They treat her like they're her actual parents, to the point where they legitimately sometimes second guess themselves because they're like, is that a thing that parents do? Do parents do this? Am I overstepping a boundary I'm not aware of? Not realizing she is an orphan, you ding-dongs, and she has no biological parents, and she's 6. Whatever basis she might have is negligible at best. You two are the only basis for an actual, for real relationship she has, and you are actually doing pretty good despite being a spy and an assassin, respectively. Also, the opening and ending to this entire anime, ooh, wonderful. 10 out of 10, straight fire. Love it so much. And I'm sorry, this just turned into a gushing about it episode, but it was so great. It was so great. Now the actual part where I get into my hobby of the writing, because, you know, that's the actual thing that I wanted to talk about and I sidetracked myself. For the writing of this particular book, manga series, and also the anime, they make it a point to tell you, point right to your face in episode 1, there is a Cold War going on at the moment, and it will escalate if one particular member of a foreign national government gets into any more power, because he particularly wants to really, really start the war, because he specifically, or his party specifically, is going to benefit from it. It's the reason why Lloyd is there. That's the whole reason for this, is that there is a Cold War going on. And even though they tell it to you point blank, and they make it a point to remind you of Lloyd as a spy having to constantly run errands for his, what I can only assume is a dollar discount spy organization, because they are constantly low on members, except the episode where he has to call on every favor he has, so that way he can pretend to be not really a spy from a child's cartoon to impress his fake daughter because he loves her oh so much, and also he got conned into it by his informant, who is also just aware of everything that's going on and still doesn't say anything. Frankie just doesn't care. It's amazing. But the reason why I bring this up is because it's a nice way to set up the world you're in. Even if it's lighthearted and everything, and that's the main focus of what you're focusing on is the lighthearted sitcom television snippets of it, but sprinkling in the, no, what I told you before in the beginning is still true. It's still a Cold War going on, spy espionage is still happening, assassination attempts are still going around all over the place, and the place you're living is still under extreme paranoia that they're actually putting people into jail under false accusations of them being spies for the other country. It's a really nice way to write in that, no, for realsies, this is serious, but that's not the main story you're telling. It's part of the story, but it's not the main story. Wonderful writing, and I really wish that second season still follows season 1's approach of it's only following Anya and all of her shenanigans at school, which is hilarious, and I really wish they would have, let her discount Lloyd's weird internal monologue of, well, you know, if she's too good, other people might get suspicious, especially if I cheat for her. She mistakes it because she's 6 and she doesn't really understand. She mistakes it when she hears it as, if I cheat off of other people whose minds I can read, they're gonna hate me. Which I'm gonna let you know right now. If you had mind reading powers when you were in school and you found out who was just really, really good at that certain subject, obviously you're not gonna just copy paste. You're gonna get the majority of the answers right, but still answer some of them wrong, just so that way it's no, they're a good enough student to pass, but they're not a good enough student to be on the board, right? We're aiming for a passing C, maybe a B, but we're not going any higher than that, because any higher and then, oh, do you mind tutoring so-and-so? No, because I don't even understand this information. Why would I want to tutor somebody else? Maybe that's just me, right? Because I was always bad at like math in school. But anyway, yeah, season 2, I hope it follows season 1's like arc is not correct. Story thread? There we go, story thread. So that way you can just really quickly like get the main gist of the story and everything else, and also it's still following Anya being 6 in school, like I said, going through all of her shenanigans. Lloyd and Yor still going through all of their respective shenanigans and still falling in love with each other as a fake family, which for the pretense of it shouldn't work, right? Lloyd, being a hardcore, hardened veteran of like spy espionage, shouldn't care at all about some orphan girl he picked up and is having to pretend to be a father to. But he does. He cares a lot about her. Also, the fact that he's just completely deadpan in the English dub is hilarious, and it makes me giggle in so badly, is because it's like whoever the man is that is doing this voice acting, you deserve like a cookie and like an award, because it is so hard not to laugh, especially when you have to read some lines and not just outright giggle. Like, voice actors in general, how do you read this and not laugh? Do you read it, laugh about it for a little bit, and then record? Is that the trick? That's gotta be the trick. But yeah, from the writing aspect of Spy Family, it's a wonderfully well-written story, and I cannot wait to see more. That's all I've got for today. Again, big shout out to everybody who's here, big shout out to the patrons, big shout out to you, the lovely viewers who've come. Like I said, please like, share, and subscribe because YouTube hates creators, and I hope to see you all again next time.